what is the best advice, Amanda, that you could give someone who's looking for a warranty for their home?
Yes. So education, research and education, know the product. So when they're in your hands in the dsmSOLD team, they know that you're doing that research and you have all the data and you're continually learning. However, a lot of realtors out there are not doing that. So it is important for the homeowner to know what's included, what's excluded. Make sure you're comparing apples to apples, because some companies will have packages that only include a few things and then you have to add on coverage.
Hey everyone, it's your friend Ryan Rolfe with the dsmSOLD team at Keller Williams Legacy Group here in Des Moines, Iowa. And welcome to the dsmSOLD team podcast, Your Real Estate Experience Matters. I'm your host and your friend Ryan Rolfe. This podcast is talking about stories of our previous clients and partners, which they can share with the public. These stories talk about different journeys our clients go through, how the process of buying a home, selling a home, investing in real estate, and things that they can share with you as a consumer that may help you. For vendors, we're looking at different products that you may work with and how you can maximize those products. And we really want to share out our experiences from our clients' perspective in working with us and learn more about what we can do better to help you and to help our clients achieve success in their home ownership goals. So these experiences are worth being shared with everyone, with the mission of the dsmSOLD team being that we want our clients to have a stellar experience that will be an inspiration for all. In today's episode, we are talking about what you need to know about home warranties to keep your home covered and protect what matters the most, your investment. So I've got the pleasure of introducing Amanda Turk with Choice Home Warranty, and we'll discuss the importance of home warranties, so be sure to listen all the way through for all of the details. Well, Amanda, it's great to be here with you. It's been a little bit. How are you, and how has it been going?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm doing well, and I'm really thankful to be here and be able to share, because I think this is a wonderful idea to have this platform to bring value to your clients and potential clients and just homeowners in general, because there's so much to the process of home ownership in general, not only the selling and the buying, but once you're in the home and that whole process. So when they can learn and discover in this platform, it makes it easier for when they're going through it. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to share.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Amanda, for being here. So, Amanda, why is it important for homeowners to have a home warranty?
Okay, so bottom line, to save them money. Home ownership is expensive, as we know. And so to protect your budget, it's important to have a home warranty. When you're buying a home, you don't know exactly what you're getting into. You have the inspection report, but a lot of times things will pop up even after a clean inspection report. Someone moves in and several things, the dishwasher's not working, the air conditioning's not working. So it's really important to have the home warranty, because even the small repairs add up to a lot.
Right.
Forget about replacement, that gets super expensive. So a lot of these buyers are exhausting their savings. They don't have anything to tap into. So having this is really important. And also for the existing homeowners, the inflation's all around us. They have college tuitions they're paying for. They have medical bills they're paying for. So this just helps them. So I really enjoy being able to help homeowners.
Awesome. And you offer warranties on new homes, so somebody that's buying a home and adding that in as part of the purchase agreement, and also to owners that have lived in their home. Correct?
Yes, exactly. So Choice Home Warranty has two sides of the company, and I think it's important to differentiate the two. So if you just say, oh, go to Choice Home Warranty, they're going to go to choicehomewarranty.com, and that's our consumer product. And it's a good product. It's just not as comprehensive as the real estate product. It doesn't have me as a go-to representative. So if something happens along the way and they have any questions, they can come directly to me. The direct-to-consumer product doesn't have that. So this is value that you can provide, they can get through you. So no matter how long they've been in their home, they can have this real estate coverage. Even though it was designed for the real estate transaction, we do allow all homeowners to have it. And once they're in the real estate coverage, they'll stay in the real estate coverage when they renew. So some companies will move them to the consumer product, which is less coverage and more expensive, but we keep them in the real estate coverage. So that's a nice benefit as well.
Awesome. And I know you and I have talked and have had a couple clients that have done that, and I personally have also done that. We've been in our home for a few years, and we have the real estate version of the Choice Home Warranty product. So that is definitely great. Um, Tell me about and talk to me a little bit about the difference between a home warranty and homeowners insurance.
Sure. So home warranty complements homeowners insurance. It works alongside of it. You don't have to have it where you have to have homeowners insurance. However, it's a smart decision to give you that peace of mind and protect your budget. So home insurance, you think roof, walls, foundation, acts of nature, damage, secondary damage. With home warranty, you're using your major systems and appliances and they wear out. So we do cover no matter the age of them, as long as they're in good working order at the start of the contract. So I had a 38-year-old air conditioning system that was just replaced for a client this past summer, and he received a full cap of $5,000 for that. So does not matter the age. Some companies will prorate based on age, so it's important. I know you do your homework, but not all realtors out there do the homework for their homeowners. So it's important that they do research and educate themselves on the actual policy and everything and what's covered.
That's awesome. And I know for me, it's been a benefit just to be able to text you photos and be like, hey, this is old. Do you see any concerns visibly? And have you connecting with your partners at the office to kind of give us some more insight before we go deeper. And then always getting that HVAC tune-up if they are older to help improve coverage.
Right, exactly. And you do always go that extra step, which is just wonderful because not all realtors will do that, but you're, always educating yourself and finding out the best things for your clients so that they have the best protection and coverage. And I think that's wonderful.
Well, thank you. And we really enjoy partnering with you and having the opportunity to ask those questions because I think, a house is important, number one. Or important but expensive is what I meant to say there. It's expensive. So if we can cover a lot of those other things, right, we might as well.
Right, exactly right.
So what would you say, Amanda, are ways to maximize a home warranty?
Sure. So with that, you want to make sure, first and foremost, that you remember you have it. And I say that and I laugh a little bit, but so many homeowners do get the coverage on the transaction and they forget they have it. So when something like their dishwasher stops working or a pipe starts leaking or they're seeing a leak in the ceiling and they don't know what it is and they don't remember that they had the coverage. So I always recommend either keep my business card on your refrigerator or desk or something that reminds you that when you're in the stress of something breaking down that you have this coverage. And when in doubt, ask. I am a highly responsive representative, so you can always text me, email me, call me. Hey, is this covered? Or at the very least, you can put in the claim, pay the $65 service fee for the tech to come out and diagnose it. In worst case scenario, it's something that's not covered, but at least you have someone who's come out to diagnose it. You have an estimate for the repair. So you're that much further ahead. And a lot of times, if it is something that's non-covered, our techs will pass on our wholesale rate to the homeowner. So it's just an extra level of comfort. So when in doubt, file a claim or ask a question to me.
That's awesome. And the service fee piece too, it's nice because a lot of these companies are just get them out. It generally is more than what you're going to pay in service fee, even if it's not covered.
Exactly. So, with inflation all around us, our service fee will be going up soon. We are rolling out a new product. However, right now we have where you can lock in that rate for multiple years. So $65, you could lock it in for the next 5.5 years for, very minimal amount of money. It's $2,000 for a 5.5-year policy. So you can break that up into 4 payments to make it easier for you. But you would lock in that $65 rate. It is going up to a $75 service fee, but that's still far below many other companies. And if you were just going directly to that technician, so
right. Oh yeah, for sure. $75. That's $10 more, but still definitely worth it in my opinion. So what is the best advice, Amanda, that you could give someone who's looking for a warranty for their home?
Yes. So education, research and education, know the product. So when they're in your hands in the dsmSOLD team, they know that you're doing that research and you have all the data and you're continually learning. However, a lot of realtors out there are not doing that. So it is important for the homeowner to know what's included, what's excluded. Make sure you're comparing apples to apples, because some companies will have packages that only include a few things, and then you have to add on coverage. So it looks like a smaller rate, like maybe $425, but once you add on a washer and dryer and a refrigerator and a water heater, it adds up well over $700, where ours will cover your major systems for $580 for our top product for 13 months of coverage. So again, it's your plumbing, your electrical, your appliances, cooling heater, hot water heater, your garage door. There's so many things it covers. So it's really important to just make sure when something breaks down, you check into it, make sure you're getting that coverage.
For sure. Definitely the benefits of having a home warranty. And also, just, I think one of the things that I want to touch on too is in the way that the system is set up. When a client does have a claim that's worked with us, we get an email that says, hey, so-and-so just had their hot water heater serviced or replaced, right? And I usually will check in with them, not because I don't trust the service, but because I want to see how everything went. And it's amazing. They're happy. They're excited. They love, they got it taken care of. And I know so many other home warranty companies that I've worked with personally or had clients work with. They're calling me, and it can get to be a headache. And so I love, one, that I don't necessarily have to step in. I'm always there to step in, of course, if they need my help. But that you're there to assist them, and that we, at the end of the day, they're happy, because that's what's most important, right?
Right. And, no company is perfect out there. We are a very technological based company, so things move very quickly. And with that, sometimes things can get jammed up. Maybe parts are delayed. Maybe, a tech didn't show up, things like that. And that's where, when they have someone they can reach out to and say, hey, this happened, they're not getting frustrated. We can move that along for them, because, things will happen. 97% of our claims move forward smoothly. However, there's 3% that sometimes something gets jammed up, and when they can reach out to me and ask, hey, this is happening, can you help with it? And then I can. It's a good feeling to be able to help people,
For sure. I think we're all in, or at least you and I are definitely in this space because of the fact that we get to help people day in and day out. And it's such a great feeling, when you take those frustrations away from them.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
And then show them how much money they save. That's always good as well.
That too. I mean, before we got our home warranty, we had to replace our furnace, and that was spendy. Yeah. So if you got the coverage, you might as well use it, especially on those bigger items. Why not? If the service fee is covered, or if it's just that small service fee, why not have somebody out, right?
Exactly.
And just to make sure, if nothing else.
Right. And to have an extra set of eyes on it too, I think, is another benefit of having a home warranty, because often I've had it happen to me personally. I've seen it happen to other people, that they have a tech come out, and when it could have been a repair, they're recommending replacement, because they're in the business to make money as well.
Right.
We want to hope that they're just looking out for the clients, but sometimes they see a sale and they could make one. So when we have our authorizations department looking at pictures, going over the diagnosis, asking questions, is this something that really needs to be replaced, or is it something that a repair will do? And I've seen it time and time again, where a small repair lasts for 2 years and they're good to go. And then sometimes it does need to be replaced, but having that extra set of eyes on something and just adding that level of protection is also important.
Awesome. Well, to kind of close things up, we've been working together for, I think we've been working with Choice for a year and a half now, if not longer. And you and I have gotten to know each other through text messages, a lot of photos exchanged.
Yes.
How would you describe your experience in working with us? And if there's anything that we can do differently to help you and to help our clients, let us know. What would that look like?
Yeah, so it's amazing working with you, because I respect and really align with someone who's coming from contribution and really just wants the best for people. And I see that in you because you're constantly just educating yourself and educating all your clients and homeowners. And so I definitely respect that. You're always negotiating on their behalf to the best that I've seen. And I work with a lot of realtors and in different territories. And I just think you are top notch and they're in great hands.
Thank you.
Absolutely. The only other thing that I could think of is that they can add on additional years. So whether the seller's negotiated and paying it or if they're paying it, they can add on. So if the seller's paying, we'll agree to pay a year, that buyer can add on additional years to cover them so they don't even have to think about it, whether they roll it into their mortgage or if they pay with credit card, whatever's easiest for them. But it's just then they don't have to think about it. They're not having to think about renewals and they lock in that rate. So that's one thing that I would say, at least offering to all of them. You have this option if you'd like it. But
definitely. Yeah, I'm glad that you bring that up because I know we've been talking more and more about that just between the two of us lately. And yet I don't know that I brought it up to many clients that, hey, and so I guess a follow-up question to that is, let's say the seller's paying for 1 year and that's all they're going to pay for. Can they like bundle the rest and just pay the difference?
Absolutely, yes. And I offer that to every single homeowner when I welcome them. So every Monday I run a paid report, see what orders we have, and I reach out to the homeowners because I want them to know they can reach out to me. Not all representatives do that. That's how I like to run my business because I want things as smoothly as possible. And I know that things will pop up. You're going to have questions and I want you to feel free to reach out to me. And I offer that to them. I let them know that they can pay the difference. However, if they could put it on the transaction, sometimes mortgage, they have room in that lending that they could roll it into that, or they can just pay out of escrow. They have options, or they can pay a credit card and they have within 30 days of closing to add that on too. And if they wanted additional coverage, like if they have a pool and spa and the seller doesn't want to pay for that, they can add that on as well. So
awesome. Well, that is definitely helpful. And you know, I really appreciate all the support that you provided just in the knowledge and information around kind of checking in the background on things, especially the furnace and air conditioner. Those are big ones that I see. Is most buyers probably aren't prepared to cover that cost if it came up, especially if it's their home, right? And I know as we go from one home to the next, maybe things get a little bit easier. We take a little bit more of a risk on, you know, hey, we feel like we can do this. But I remember in my first house, I was like, oh, we got a home warranty, and that was great. But I appreciate you saying, hey, call us, you know, let us know, because there's probably one or two things that I could have gotten covered before that expired, and you know, I was just want to spend money, so you know, so definitely helpful, and I appreciate that you come from that same space of, you know, I got in this business to help people and to make a difference, and I'm not an electrician, a plumber, you know, any of that. However, I know enough to know, just like an inspector, you know, they know enough to when they need to refer it out. I know what I'm looking for when we go in a house. So I'm like, hey, here's some of the expensive things that might come up, right? So it's definitely helpful to have you as a partner to share your knowledge and insights on those bigger things that I can tell might be a problem, and I want to make sure that as much as possible we can get them covered or protect them as much as possible in the transaction.
Right. So I think one thing that just pops into my head that I do see a lot in that area is with the sewer line. So we cover this clearing the plumbing stoppages. So whatever cabling will clear that out. However, we wouldn't cover if there were tree roots that were damaging the sewer lines, and that's why the stoppages are happening. So if it's not clearing with the cabling, it's not something that's covered. So when having the home inspection, a lot of homeowners should be getting that scoping, the camera scoping. Do you recommend that with your clients?
We do. We always recommend a full inspection, sewer scope, and radon test. And the reason for that, even in new construction, is because I have heard horror stories. I haven't had any clients run into this thing with new construction, but I've heard horror stories. You know, they put that in so early, it gets run over by heavy machinery, or the ground settles and it's going backwards instead of the way that it should flow. And guess what? That can be expensive.
Very expensive. Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because, new construction, that's a good thing too, is that sometimes it's like concrete in those sewer lines, and that's not covered, and that's expensive. And then again, yes, with the tree roots and everything, just making sure that there's nothing growing in there damaging it, because it is so expensive. And I've seen it and unfortunately had things denied for coverage. But those stoppages, even the normal ones, when you flush things that maybe shouldn't have been flushed, they can clog up the line. Those add up quickly. Be surprised. It can, so, and then, electrical things like this light switch all of a sudden isn't working, or, the ceiling fan isn't working. So there's just so much that we cover. So, and never get discouraged if there is something that was part of the excluded, or it was determined that it was a pre-existing condition. There is so much that is covered, so keep going with the plan. And when in doubt, ask questions. I'm here for them.
Right. And that's a lot of this too for me throughout the process of being in real estate has been a learning experience. I honestly, when I bought my first house, I just did a standard inspection. Didn't do a radon test, didn't do a sewer scope. Guess what? We had to call Roto-Rooter super late at night, pay the overnight fee if our sewer was backing up. Had we done it, we would have known, right?
Yes.
So it does add to the cost of that in the initial process, but if you plan for it, it's better to have it covered than not, right? And know that, hey, you need to clean out the line instead of me, because then it doesn't happen at 2 a.m. when you really have, you have to pay the overtime when that's already expensive just to get it cleared out, right?
Yes. And that's something to note as well for managing those expectations of the home, or when I have a home warranty, is that we're not emergency services. So while majority of our claims, over 68% of them, are handled within 24 to 48 hours, sometimes it can take longer depending on what the claim is. And so I'm here also that if you have something that pops up that is more on the emergency side, reach out to me and let's see how we can do to get it expedited for you. So whether that's selecting the reimbursement option that we have, not all companies have that, but we give you the choice. If we don't have someone available in a short amount of time, you can select your own and be reimbursed within 30 days. However, that doesn't work for all homeowners. Some don't have that out-of-pocket cost up front to be reimbursed later. And then they can reach out and say, hey, can you escalate this? And we proactively find a tech to get out to you sooner. So you have options, and that's a good thing as well. But you always want to mitigate that secondary damage. So if there's plumbing leak, turning off the water, know where those things are in your home, so that you can, mitigate that secondary damage.
Awesome. Well, yeah, some of those things are fun, and it's definitely great, as I mentioned, to have you as a resource and as a teammate to help us throughout this process, and a vendor partner. So that kind of wraps up today's episode of the DSmSOLD podcast, Your Real Estate Experience Matters. Thank you so very much, Amanda, for joining us, and thank you all for listening, and for sharing your knowledge, Amanda, about what you need to know about home warranties in keeping your home covered and protecting what matters, because it's a big investment, and so we want our clients to be taken care of, just like you want you take care of the clients on the warranty side of things. So thank you again for sharing your knowledge, your expertise, and join us on our next episode of the DSmSOLD podcast, Your Real Estate Matters, coming up down the road. And don't forget to follow us on social media. And on YouTube channel, you can watch this episode, as well as wherever you are seeing this online, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. We would love to have your questions. If you've got any questions, Amanda is a great resource, and we are here to help however we can. So thanks everyone for joining us and watching, and thanks again, Amanda, for your time today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.